Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Court Vision, and this is video number 2. Thank you so much for the support on the first video of the 2016 NBA Finals, the breakdown that we did. In this video, as you can see, we are naming the NBA GOAT. With all the talk with the Michael Jordan documentary and whatnot, constantly the battle of who the GOAT is in the NBA, you're going to find out who I think is the GOAT of the NBA, and this is here on tiermaker.com. Any kind of subject you guys want me to do, let me know down in the comments section. Again, I would greatly appreciate if you guys would leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, shows your support. I really appreciate it. But let's get into this, man. And I did not pick this order, so we may be flip-flopping. We're going to find out. But we're starting with my man, the man, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, one of the best shooting guards of all time. Honestly, he's probably a top 5 shooting guard of all time, and that's a strong position. Offensively, one of the best players I've ever seen break a double team. Or if he runs a pick and roll and they kind of both defenders attach, he splits double teams in his prime, especially. Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time, but he is not a GOAT. So for now, we're going to put him in tier 2. Generally, this is like superstar, so that's where Dwayne belongs. Shaquille O'Neal, one of my absolute favorite players of all time, and I'm sure I'm not in the I'm in the majority with that. I'm guaranteeing that. Shaq, one of the greatest centers of all time. His dominance is unmatched by position. I don't think any other position in any other era has dominated the way he has, minus the guy who's right after him. But Shaq was doing this against big boys. So Shaq, not much more to say. Definitely a superstar, but not a GOAT. But he is right on that line. He is right there. Wilt Chamberlain, tier 2, pretty much the same as Shaq over here. I mean, we're talking, this man had a season where he averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds a game. I don't care what era you're playing in, who you're playing against. That is what you want to see right there. So, Wilt, and obviously 100 points, the record in the NBA in a game. So, Wilt's going to sit there in tier 2. Hakeem, see, here's the problem with this list, the GOATs list. I feel like I'm not going to fill up any of these tiers here. But again, we're gonna shuffle through, and we're gonna make something happen down here. Okay, so Hakeem, tremendous footwork, touch, shot blocking presence. Hakeem was amazing. But just because I don't want to put everybody in tier 2, we're gonna throw Hakeem there in tier 3. But again, we're talking about the greatest of greats here. So you guys got to give me a break. We're ranking the best of the best of the best, sir. Iverson's a tricky one, right? So one of the deadliest scorers of all time. And he did it in a way that changed the culture in the NBA. He brought on the sleeve. He brought on the headband, the tattoos. The dude just brought style and a different type of attitude to the NBA. And that might be more memorable than anything. So when you affect a culture in that way, that is huge. AI Hall of Famer, no doubt. I think all these guys are, really. But I'm going to put AI here in tier 3. But both of these guys are right on the edge of coming up here. I mean, it's almost interchangeable with all these GOATs running around. Speaking of GOATs, I can't put Wilt in tier 2 and not have Bill Russell there. 11 NBA championships in 13 years. The guy was just... yeah, unbelievable, and not much more to say about that. Bob Pettit. So, a lot of people probably don't know Bob Pettit. If you go look up his numbers, I think you're going to be very surprised by what you see. But I'm going to put him here in tier 3, just based on when he played, his production, his style of play, the style of play the game had. But yeah, so Bob Pettit, tier 3 for me. Same thing here, John Havlicek. He was probably He's up there, and he's a top 10 shooting guard of all time, regardless of the era he played. Super successful, great player, but I'm leaving him right there. Charles Barkley. So, in my eyes, with the bias that I have, I love Charles Barkley. He is probably the most underrated player of all time, and it's because he never won a ring. He was close. The scoring and the rebounding and his unbelievable athleticism, people just do not remember the type of athlete Charles Barkley was. And I think he probably belongs in tier 2, but I'm throwing him in tier 3 for now. Again, we might shift some people around. We're going to look at the whole list like a draft board after your fantasy drafts and check. Clyde the Glide Drexler, a phenomenal 2-guard, pretty slept on, honestly, but I'm going to put him in tier 3. Dr. J, I feel like these two are extremely similar in their games, their success. You could probably put Dr. J up here in tier 2, but again, this is one of the hardest lists. Like, it is very hard to put these guys in anything but the top 3 tiers. David Robinson, phenomenal, tier 3. He could be in tier 2, absolutely. He's a top 10 center of all time, and that might be judging low. Scoring and rebounding was just unbelievable. And his defense, I mean, he had a quadruple-double, I'm pretty sure, in the finals. He scored 71 in a game. He's had a scoring title. I mean, the Admiral was just unbelievable. George Gervin, I feel like I'm gonna put George Gervin tier 4. He's gonna be the first guy in tier 4. I know some of you guys aren't gonna like that, but tell me why in the comment section he belongs to be higher. Again, we're gonna look over this, and these are just the best players of all time here. So I gotta fill these with somebody. Okay, so KG, recency bias, I guess, for me. I grew up watching him. Second best power forward, maybe the best power forward of all time. All around game, scoring, rebounding, intimidation, defense. I mean, at one point, KG was the best overall player in the NBA for a couple seasons. Honestly, if you're a top 2 player at your position, that's where you belong. Steph Curry belongs here for now. He is phenomenal. Not a good defender. I kind of put him right here with Iverson a little bit. Like, we're right here. But Steph really probably will push himself into this category by the time it's all over. But for now, I'm leaving him right there. Kareem, we have our first GOAT. And honestly, he might be the GOAT. Nobody talks about this man. So because nobody ever talks about this man as the GOAT, let's talk about his accomplishments that are just listed right here. Hall of Famer, 19-time All-Star. He played 19 years. Rebound champion, 6-time NBA champion, 6-time MVP, 11-time All-Defensive, 2-time Finals MVP, Rookie of the Year, 2-time scoring champ, 4-time blocking champ, 15-time All-NBA. So 15 out of his 19 seasons, he was All-NBA and All-Rookie that year. Not to mention, I'm not sure about the high school titles. I can't remember, but he won 3 national championships at UCLA. There is not a single more decorated player in the history of basketball than this guy right here, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Probably the GOAT of GOATs. Dirk Nowitzki. This one's tough. So a lot of people love Dirk's game because particularly what he did against LeBron in 2011 when the Mavs took out the Heat that first year that they all joined together. To be completely honest, I love Dirk. I love him. His game was different than anybody ever. But the man was a liability nearly on defense. So for me, he could be up here, but he's got to go down here for me. I mean, I love Dirk, but if honestly, Honestly, Dirk could probably go down here with George Gervin, but I'm going to leave him right here for now. George, you won't be alone this whole time, I promise. Somebody will be down there with you or I'll bump you up. I'm not leaving you alone. KD. Oh, my goodness. Honestly, KD, he's up here. To me, in my subjective opinion, KD's the second best small forward of all time. No disrespect to Mr. Bird. None at all. But this man brought a game that nobody has ever seen to the NBA. He's damn near 7 feet tall, dribbles like a guard, shoots better than a guard, if there is such a thing. I mean, there's just no way to defend this guy right here. You can put a hand up, but you're too short. His first step is just as quick as anybody's. He's so long, he gets different angles on his shots. KD is up here, for sure, no doubt. Karl Malone. Malone was amazing, man. I'm going to put him right here. Karl Malone, the mailman, always delivered. He was one of the best power forwards ever. One of the most athletic power forwards ever. One of the most athletic bigs ever. And that's where he goes for me. R.I.P. Mamba. We'll put him right up here in tier 2. To me, he is not a GOAT. He is a top 10 player of all time. Arguably, somebody could drop him even lower, honestly. But Kobe changed the game as much culturally as Allen Iverson did. Probably, well, definitely more. I mean, whose name do you say when you shoot a piece of paper into a trash can? Kobe. R.I.P. Mamba. Larry Bird joins Kobe in tier 2. Top 5 small forward of all time. Probably number 3 for me. Honestly, today's generation severely underrates Larry. And I may be guilty of it by what I said about Kevin Durant, but top 3 small forward, power forward, wherever you want to play him. If you call him a power forward, he's not top 3, but a small forward. Larry would be perfect in today's NBA as a stretch 4 with the way they play positionless basketball. I mean, the dude was a magician. The shot would go in. It didn't matter what it looked like, where it was from, how he got it up there. Same with the passing. It was just... Larry was unbelievable. We'll go over. I'm sure we'll do a breakdown of Larry Bird, at least reaction of highlights, and I mean, you guys will see. Not much more to say about it. The best overall basketball player of all time is LeBron James. The best overall skilled basketball player of all time is LeBron James. Jerry West, one of those top 5 shooting guards of all time. He's the logo, belongs in tier 2. Magic's damn near GOAT status. You know what? I'm putting Magic in GOAT status. How about that? You guys want to talk about GOATs? I'm putting 5 guys up here if I want to. Speaking of GOATs, there's no question about these guys being... Actually... This is the Mount Rushmore of basketball right here. If you can only do 4, that's it. MJ, this guy has the mindset, mentality of a killer instinct player you've ever wanted on your... Like, if you went into a lab, if you could put Michael's brain, like his attitude, in LeBron's body... there would be no question. Michael was, if you look, and we could do this in a future video if you guys want to, let me know down in the comments, but we can break down statistically and by season just LeBron and Michael. It is eerily similar. It is just strangely similar. But right here, Magic, just to get back to Magic, I mean, as far as an all-around player goes, this guy is second to LeBron. He was LeBron before LeBron. Not as athletic. Definitely could not shoot a 3 like LeBron. And that's not saying he's a great 3-point shooter, but Magic, I mean, you guys have played 2K. His shot looks weird as hell. But Magic was fantastic. I mean, court vision was insane. He averaged over 11 assists per game for his career. LeBron, as a passer, he's around 7.5 assists per game. Magic was fantastic. As a rookie, brought his team. I think they won the NBA Finals, and that was the year he played center. Either that or his second year. I mean, Magic was basically the 80s version of LeBron, without the body and the athleticism that LeBron had. And Michael, I mean, he is individually, as an NBA player, probably the GOAT as far as accomplishments and winning, but it stops there. I mean, he wasn't a great teammate. You guys saw that in the documentary. And that documentary was swayed to go Jordan's way. I mean, that was the perspective they played. If they made one that Scottie Pippen wanted to make, it would look completely different. But most killer instinct winner, best player, probably Michael. Best basketball player overall, scoring, rebounding, passing, defense, intangibles, it's LeBron. Moses Malone, he was fantastic, a little bit before his time. But I don't want George Gervin to be alone down here, so this might be an underrated move. I'm underrating Moses, and I don't know if he can fit in this. I don't know if I can put another person in this category. Maybe I can. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. It'll just make it fatter, but that's not where Scottie goes. Scottie goes up here. Second most, maybe the most underrated player next to Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen. Minus Michael Jordan, if he had been just on his own team, everybody would have seen what he could do. Unbelievable. Michael would not have been who he was without this man right here. All right, John Stockton, one of the greatest passers of all time. This is what a point guard was supposed to be before it turned into what Steph Curry does now, or what Russell Westbrook does now. This was a point guard. Pass first, play defense, pick pockets. I mean, as far as pick and roll passing goes, the only one that even comes close to Stockton is Steve Nash. But we're going to sit him down here in tier 4 for now. Again, I think I'm going to recycle some of this stuff and move guys around. Tim Duncan goes up here in tier 2. Probably the best power forward of all time. He's right here with KG in my opinion. Oscar Robertson, tier 3 for me. The first guy to ever average a triple-double. He should probably be higher. But this is where I got him for now. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at all this. I'm going to take one last look and see where I'm going to move guys around. I just don't think anybody deserves tier 5 here. That's all I'm saying. And this is it. This is the final list. This is where I'm going to keep it right here, and that's it. We're done. So we got the GOATs. These are the GOATs of basketball. LeBron, Kareem, Michael, and Magic. These next guys down here, these guys are near GOAT status. Some of them are really near GOATs. I'm not going to put them in the order. I think there's no way I'm doing that. But we got D-Wade, Kobe, Shaq, Wilt, Bill Russell, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, Jerry West, and Scottie Pippen. These are the next tiered level guys. Tier 3, we got Hakeem, AI, Steph, Bob Pettit, Charles Barkley, Dr. J, David Robinson, Karl Malone, the Big O, Oscar Robertson. Down here, we got George Gervin, we got Moses Malone, John Stockton, John Havlicek, Clyde Drexler, and Dirk Nowitzki. Guys, thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If you agree or disagree with anything on my list, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you are new. We are chasing the first 100 subscribers on this new channel. Right now we're at 7, so we got a long ways to go. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.